Yep, it's recording the inputs and the outputs. There we go. So that's just in case Nerfs doesn't work. It's supposed to start it starts recording in 2 minutes apparently, but we'll see. It's been a bit dubious this week. Sorry.
How's everything in Saskatchewan, Carol?
Pretty nice, actually. We've had a really good summer. No bugs. We're doing good.
All right.
It's not quite as, I don't know. It's nice. I'm still supposed to be in Australia, so I'm grumpy about that. But
what were you in Australia for?
I was supposed to be over there for the conference and doing workshops with Ben.
Oh, you were down. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I'm waiting for next week when everybody stops posting stuff and sending me emails about everything I'm missing. It'll be much better. Yeah, but it's been really funny actually. For some reason, I keep getting emails from people who tell me how wonderful Ben is and how good looking he is. I'm going to just sort of cut and paste them all together and send them away. I don't know why I'm getting, it's like I'm his mom, I'm getting all this stuff from him.
Well, he is a good looking man. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, I just don't know why I'm getting involved in it.
You haven't heard the rumors?
What rumors?
Rumors, nice.
Jeez.
Michael, we'll be sure that you start one today. Have you heard?
Have you heard? So Judy Taddle says cluster F. I'm not sure what she means. If she's having trouble seeing it or... oh, she's smiling. Okay, so maybe everything's okay. I'm just trying to read some of the comments people are leaving.
Are we supposed to be writing to people at the same time? Oh, I'm too old for this.
So we can probably wait should we wait a few more minutes for Adam, or should we get going?
Let's see. Yeah, he's not even signed in right now, is he? Like, not even.
Oh, yeah, Adam. He's signed. Well, he looks like he's signed in, but
yeah.
Oh, and it says we're on air now.
Yeah, it started. The Nerf has started archiving. Whether it works or not, they sent me a tweet earlier in the week going, the video record feature's down, so I'm backing up. I've got a separate program running, which apparently they use for Twitch TV, which I'm trying. Well, I'm testing it out because I've got some other projects on the go, which I kind of told Michael about the other day, but I'm not sure how much I want the rest of the world to know at the moment, because I've only had the first email about it. So,
well, now we're all curious.
It's about live streaming another potter, doing some live streaming with a potter, and doing a live streaming workshop where they'll do skills techniques live.
Oh, sweet! That's awesome.
Yeah, but I can't say much about it, who it is or anything yet. Okay. Michael knows.
Michael, we don't want to stalk that woman. Turn her.
Is that Mike? Then we can't let the world know. So does that mean Michael is perhaps the man?
Yeah.
We've got our detective.
Yeah, I've got a phone call happening this week to discuss it a bit more, because apparently I'm a live streaming expert now, and I blame Michael. He's the one who introduced me to live streaming.
Oh yeah, all I do is apologize for my poor internet signal. It's kind of gets old after a while. But I did use some of my data this month, and actually got a contribution during one of my I think it was during Meerkat.
Nice.
And that was kind of, I was like, oh wow, it did work. Somebody went to the link and contributed to the campaign, so it was cool.
Nice.
Anyway.
So
Adam.
Yeah, Adam. If we can't get you on video, Adam, you'll just have to. We might have to get you to join in via chat. Okay, almost here. Okay, we'll wait another minute or two.
All right, good deal.
Let's keep chatting. Don't look at me.
Is the Nerf, is it popular in England?
No. It's something I got introduced via some of the people off Makeup. They also use blab.im.
Oh yeah.
But
Right.
that only allows 4 people at a time, and it's a lot heavier on the video because the video doesn't scale. It requires higher quality video. So I can see you all. Can't see where to join. It should be on the lower right hand side, Adam. There should be a start video chat. Anyway, nothing there. Are you still logged in another window? If you are, close it. Let's see.
That's a good idea. I'm going to log out of my other apps.
Yeah, I meant to do that before I started. Close that.
I'm on battery power here.
Hi, Tessa. Anyway, let's close all those other things. Adam has left the channel, and he should come back in a minute, and we'll see. And then hopefully I'll stop waffling. I'm a little nervous, as I always am every time I live stream. So
that's good.
Yeah.
They're always a little awkward, so that's fair.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
What?
That seems like my Firefox is frozen up.
Oh, your video's frozen.
Yeah, your video is frozen.
Unless you're a really good ventriloquist.
It's okay. It's on a good screen capture. You don't look funny.
I'll just stay still. Oh, I don't look like my eyes are closed, my tongue hanging out.
No, you look good.
Here we go. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Anything else we need to?
Oh. Microphone.
Hi all, check out. Thanks, Judy.
Oh, that was funny.
Oh, Adam, I've followed you. Hopefully the option should be there now. I've clicked follow, so you should be able to. It's really weird.
It's so bizarre that he's not seeing that.
Every time he reloads, it brings up. Oh, my wife just refreshed. Michael Klein.
Oh, that one's your wife?
Dr. Anthea.
Yeah. Okay.
She's moderating over there. She's not really a doctor.
No. Is she going to be typing things that we're saying then, or no? Just telling us when to shut up?
No, she's just there if anyone causes trouble. Or if there's a question and we've not noticed.
Hey, I'm curious about this, Joseph. When people sign in, what's to stop them from hitting the start video?
That's a good point. When I first joined Nerf, that option wasn't there until people were invited, and that doesn't seem to be here.
As far as I can tell, only people in the top box have the start video option.
Okay, why can we not get Adam into the top box then?
You're the social media expert.
Right. Let's take you out for a minute.
Can you click and drag him up to the top?
I tried.
Joseph?
No, it's not. Right. Do you go back up to the top box now? I followed you.
Yes.
He should go up to the top box once I click follow on him. That hasn't happened for everyone though. If his
account isn't created, it may still be pending. Perhaps pending accounts can't join.
Let's see. I have put Florian.
Michael, welcome back.
For some strange reason, it's not moving him up. Oh gosh. do you need to refresh? I will refresh, but it will moo.
Why does it move?
There's something.
That's so random. So random.
Who came up with the move thing? Michael, where'd you go? You just like disappeared.
Yeah, my Foxfire froze up, so I had to restart it.
Okay.
I hope it's not too. Can you still hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It just there was some sort of script that got seized up or something. Some sort of script.
Okay, it's working for some people, but it's not others. Sorry, anyone who I've just put up into the top chat.
Oh, wow.
You back down.
Okay.
No, everybody's leaving us now.
Yeah, so everybody's just entered. No, I just have a bunch of people enter.
Oh, I had a bunch of people left. Okay, some people are coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, that's because I moved them up
Teresa
and then moved
is
down.
here.
For some strange
Teresa.
reason,
Hey,
Adams
Teresa.
doesn't move up.
They can't hear you.
Oh, they can't hear me. Stop video chat. Start video chat.
I have 2 people viewing on my end here, so.
Yeah, I've
Right.
got 2 as well. 14 chatting.
Why?
Okay.
You can't see me twice. No. Anyway.
Fine.
Oh, it made you leave and come back.
Sorry, that was me. I let them up into the top box and then kicked them out again. To test to see why it was. It works for everyone else, but it's not working for Adam. Next time I'll make the sound test half an hour before. No, it doesn't. Oh, poor Adam.
It doesn't like you, Adam. No.
Adam, we're just missing you, bro.
I know. So, whilst Adam's sorting himself out, if we carry on, and then we'll introduce Adam when he's on. So, intern, introduce yourself, and who you are. Well, yeah, introduce yourself. I'll hang my head in shame now.
Do you have an order you would like us to go in?
We'll go Michael, Paul, Carol, and then myself.
Okay. I'm Michael Klein, a.k.a. Kleinola, and I am a potter in North Carolina, and these social platforms I use the most probably are Facebook, Instagram. Those are probably the most in that order, I guess. And what else should I say about myself? I've also been playing around with live streaming, but I found that my Twitter handle, Kleinola, is really difficult to pronounce when people are looking at when they're looking at their live stream feed, and I've been called Kliniola and various things. Anyway, so I never considered my Twitter handle as being pronounced out loud, but now with live streaming, it becomes sort of more of an issue than here too, I guess. So anyway, that's me.
And I'm Paul Blaze. I'm the host of the Potter's Cast and Doubt the Doubts. I guess the platforms that I use the most in social media would be, probably in this order, would be Instagram. Then I would go to, good night, my brain just went blank on what it's called. Pinterest, thank you, Pinterest. So Instagram, Pinterest, and then Facebook, Twitter. And I think that's probably about it on the social media front. I too am just starting to play around with some of the live streaming with Periscope and Nerf. Nerf sounds. Nerf looks like it has a couple of issues that doesn't like Adam, but we all understand that. We all understand that. So.
Sad face from Adam.
I think Adam just lost a bunch of followers on Instagram.
They're just dumping him. Oh, I just unfollowed him. This is ridiculous. Let's do it all as one big thing. Everyone unfollow Adam. Boom.
Boom. All right, I guess moving on to me. I'm Carol Epp, also known as Musing About Mud. So I run the blog Musing About Mud. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest. I don't do a lot of live streaming though. This is really new to me, and I think this whole video world, like I had to do the video for a conference recently, and I think it's interesting, and I see a lot of potential in it, but it's still it's very intimidating. So I'm really excited to be here, and I'm really thankful that you invited me to come out, guys, because it's fun.
Thanks for coming. Sorry, I was in the chat. Right, me. Yeah, I'm Joseph Travis. Red Fox Pottery is like a business that I used to have, and I kind of keep using the social media for it. But at the moment, I'm a digital ceramics researcher, looking at how we can use online technologies to help teach traditional skills like ceramics. So that's why I have this kind of interest in kind of live streaming and Instagram, and my main platform is definitely live streaming. And it was until 2 weeks ago when they updated it and killed my iPad 2. Can't use that anymore. I regularly had between 40 and 100 people coming and watching me throw in the studio, which was fascinating. But people didn't really see my face. I just showed my hands and kind of talked alongside that. So yeah, that was an interesting. Because 100 people coming on, like all my other social medias, I've only just got above 200 people. So 100 people coming and watching me live is a really big thing for me. And I was introduced to it by Michael Klein. It's his fault.
Oh, really?
Adam introduced me to Instagram when he came to England a few years ago. So, and before that, I just didn't really use social media. And now I've got people asking me to help them with the social media, which is really weird considering I have. And I also did if anyone saw it, I did the International Ceramics Festival in Aberystwyth's Instagram account a couple of weeks ago, and ran around like a headless chicken.
That was cool. I liked seeing some of that.
Mm-hmm.
I was busy. I didn't get to see a lot. I mean, when I checked in, it was pretty interesting. And I always like that idea of being transported to a place. I think it's what's so fascinating about the streaming is you can be taken over the sea, looking at you're not sure what. But I remember tuning in, and there was a kiln being fired and a drum there was drummers, and there was a sort of a parade. I was like, this is crazy, but I was fascinated that I was actually looking at it from my house, here in North Carolina, if something was happening over in England, or I think was it Wales?
Yeah, it was Wales.
Oh, okay.
Mid Wales on the coast.
It's a sort of time traveling kind of thing, I guess you'd say. I think people are fascinated in general in seeing pictures. Video is even more fascinating because there's more stimuli, there's more information coming across the wire, and if it can be technologically feasible and free, then people are going to jump on it. I mean, I don't see why people aren't doing more podcasting, more video streaming, or communicating in that way. It seems like almost like Facebook or some of these legacy platforms are scrambling to catch up, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, I'm trying
I think
to.
That we've also been trained for the last 7-8 decades with TV and movies that when we see movement on a screen, we're automatically drawn to it. Like I can't go out to dinner if there's a TV in the background of the person I'm talking with. I have to really concentrate not to let my eyes go up there and get drift away. So I think that's why we're just a society that's been designed to want to watch. Voyeurism is another word for it.
Well, I just think we respond to movement and to voices and to face, eyes, mouths moving. But I think, Paul, when you say you're in different public places and there's a TV in a restaurant, I find it really like kind of intrusive, and I'm not sure how. That's always been a question I've had with when I use social media. How much do I want to post? Am I distracting people from what they're doing? And I guess that's maybe, I don't know if it's exactly an ethical question, but it's something that I think about. Like, well, how much do I want to interrupt people and, from living their lives?
Yeah. Well, I think that's why so many platforms like Instagram have been really successful, because it's almost like you interrupt for a split second. Right? It's such a quick time. It's a flash of an image, and then you can get more information if you want more. You can follow links and whatnot. And I think so many people have moved towards the shortened Twitters, the Instagram pictures. So to suddenly go back to video almost seems like it's not. I mean, I say going back, but it's moving forward, obviously, with technology. But at the same time, it's going back to something that's more time-based, that we have to stop what we're doing, rather than just sort of checking things really quickly on the side. So I think that's really interesting.
I'm really impressed with the sound quality that we're able to get from in this scenario here, where we've got 4 people on here, and the sound to me is phenomenal. Which, if I were to be recording this, I'd be quite happy with everybody's sound quality coming in.
That's definitely good. That's the thing. When I've tried Blab,
FaceTime hack to get me in.
We have to. Yeah. How do we screen share on this?
I don't know if I can do FaceTime and Nerf, because they would be sharing the same camera, right? On the phone. Good question. Let's see. Okay.
Do you have enough battery life, Michael?
I have 69% on my phone and 67 on the laptop. So,
okay,
one way or the other.
I've got a fully charged phone, and I've got my charger right here. If you'd like, I could do it.
Okay, that might be better. That way, my backup plan would be to. Do you have Adam's phone number?
Oh, well, that's the challenge then, right there. You can email it. I don't think we.
He says, let's just post it here to the world. Yeah.
Yeah. Email me.
Okay.
You get my email address?
I think so. Let's see. Yeah.
Oh, Adam just.
Yeah,
okay,
try that.
I'll call you, Adam. He just did it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so.
Oh, it's on your website. Oh, that's.
Oh, okay. A lot of people have them in the mailing list these days, so I set up a mailing list yesterday, and I was really uncomfortable with the fact you have to put in your kind of postal address.
Yeah, I'm still nervous about that kind of stuff. I don't have my phone number or my address anywhere.
Yeah. They'd be a bit worried if they came around, though. I used to do martial arts, so we've got like wooden weapons all around the room.
I've got 2 little kids with lots of plastic swords. Does that count?
Yeah, sure. I've got, I only have to move probably an arm's length, and then I'll have like wooden weapons, which probably shouldn't be there with 2 kids in the house. My oldest hasn't noticed, so we're fine.
I've got Adam on here. Let's see if we can.
Hi, Adam.
There's Adam.
A screen within a screen.
Can you pass Adam? Can you pass Adam to me? I think we've just created a new soft sculpture toy. The Adam Field Toy.
Can you guys hear him? Here,
Slightly.
let me see if I can do this. Say something else, Adam.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is that any better?
There we
Yes.
go. Yeah, they can hear you
Oh,
now.
because you have your headphones on.
Well, no, because I've got you right up on my microphone.
Gotcha. Okay. So Adam Field from Helena, Montana, and the social media that I'm mostly involved with right now is Instagram and Facebook, but have done quite a bit on YouTube. And I'm getting a crazy echo here, so
It's gonna be a funky video. It's gonna be funky audio loop with that.
Only for Adam.
No, only for you though.
I need to turn my phone down. There we go. Okay, that's better. Okay, so kind of here. We can carry on with this.
Yes.
This is awesome.
So, from your pre-prepared, no. Yeah, I did. Yeah, I'll just read it out. So recently, I did have a conversation with a potter who said that social media just wasn't worth it, and I was utterly stunned, and I couldn't believe it myself. You know what? What?
Joseph, so you literally, somebody has said to you that they had no desire to use social media and that social media had no relevance to
business,
to a modern day artist?
Yeah. They said
Had
it
they
had no
tried it?
relevance to a potter. Pardon?
Had they tried it though and then had left?
I think they tried it and then left. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
But I don't think that's an isolated thing, because I was just this morning, my wife and I did a little walk around our local farmers market, and something as simple as this kind of social media, which is just a website, because that's another form of social media, is putting up a blog, and they don't even have that. I mean, I walked past a Potter's. There's 3 Potters that were in my thing, and all 3 of them, not a single one of them had a website, even a simple website.
I just don't get it. To me personally, you know.
Somebody was talking to me recently about it, and they said, "Oh, well, you know, social media is just not for me." And I equated that to like saying, "Well, advertising is not for me."
Yeah.
You know. And it's like, it's a new thing, and I think people are hesitant about it maybe because of that, but it's the way things are going, obviously, so.
Yeah.
Well, I often get sometimes younger emerging artists, and then also people who've been doing it for decades. And either somebody will suggest to me that I should show their work on the blog, or, you know, they'll actually contact me and say, you know, would you feature my work on the blog? And then time and time again, it's like, there's no website. There's nothing for me to link to. And so there's that lack of understanding that even if I put it out there for you in this one sort of platform here, there's nowhere for anybody else to go. Like, it's the end of the conversation. And I always say to people, the bare minimum is to have that website that at least has a contact for you, right? Like an email address. A nice image of your work and an email address is the bare minimum, but at least that somebody can Google you and find you.
Yeah.
Right. I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so much of what the conversation is about, I think the reason maybe some of those guys are down at the farmers market is, you know, it's about getting the backstory out there. Otherwise, they could just send their work off to, you know, have it sold wholesale or something like that. And, you know, to have that personal connection, that's where social media comes in, where you can reach a wider audience. You know, it just seems like a no-brainer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think people don't realize that you can have some of those. I mean, I do craft sales, and you sit and talk to people and you interact about the work and tell stories, and they tell you what they see in it and all that kind of stuff. I think sometimes people don't realize that those exact same conversations can happen on Instagram. And they just dismiss and they think, oh, but this face-to-face interaction is where it's at. And for me, it's the exact same thing is happening on those platforms.
A question: do you think that it's more of an issue of people feeling intimidated Because they just don't understand the process.
I think that's a big part of it, yeah.
How much time do you spend on social media, Michael?
That's a good question. I'm not exactly sure. I could look at my rescue time, which is a little app that I use to tell me how much time I'm spending on different apps on my laptop. But I'm probably, on a normal day, I'm probably looking at 2 hours maybe out of the day.
A day.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe more. I mean, some days it may be more if I'm doing something particularly like the crowdfunding campaign. I spent maybe the last 2 weeks emailing, answering questions, checking in, coming up with, content to publish. I mean, even though I'm not online doing that, I might be looking at images or doing something that's related to
you getting a slowdown on that
sending
too?
content out there, which might, for me, and this is part of my social media time. I may not be chatting with somebody or commenting or
Scared that Michael has. I thought, know how much time I spend. It's always little chunks for me because I'm running around the house with kids and stuff, and I don't at the time of day where I get stuff like that. So it's I would 2 hours, but more.
So we'll take both of their totals and add them together. No, it's a fair bit, and I think a question that I was having for everybody was, how important is it to respond and interact with the following? And that is what I'm finding is starting to take a lot more time because it's important to me to continue that conversation, and that's what makes social media so good. Is that it's not like when I was in school and I was looking at a magazine or a book. Now you have a question from one of your favorite potters, and you can just put that question out to the person, and they'll get right back to you. So I end up spending a lot more time on stuff like that. Trying to find a balance is tough because it gets to a certain point where it's just you're doing that all day, and then you're not making the pots that you're putting out there in the first place. So.
I'm just looking at my stats for the week, and it appears I've spent this past week I've spent 35 minutes on Facebook, which doesn't seem right, but 7 hours on Flower Thoughts. I think that's maybe that doesn't count my mobile time. I mean, I'm spending probably more and more time on the mobile. But what the time thing is work momentum. Tricky is how do I justify or what's the word? Maybe an economics point of view. How do I reconcile the times I'm interrupted when I'm working on pots or working on my work? And the time that it takes to reestablish that focus on what I'm doing and what was I doing? I think those little interruptions are really tricky. They might be just 5 seconds or 15 seconds, a ping on my phone with a message from somebody. And so it's the interruptions that I find it can be maybe what people are fearing. They fear that their time will be chopped up in that way. Anyway.
Yeah, but I do know a lot of people who really do schedule that time, right? Where they go, I'm gonna spend half an hour now online and catch up from everything from the last 24 hours, and they don't feel like it has to be that immediate thing. And I think you can shut those things off. I'm not one of those people. I am one of, I've always got my phone beside me. I check things when they bing. But I know sometimes when I don't do that, it's really, I won't take phone into that because of it, because you just want that quiet time. So you can use social media every day and still, it's up to you to determine. You just have to not allow it to be that addictive.
This is really a question that I have for. We have three of some of the most successful potters around right now.
Yeah.
On this chat here. How critical has your success been in relationship to social media? Could you be where you are today if you didn't have social media going on?
For me, absolutely not.
I mean, Carol, yours is like set up where it's a lot of it has to do about music about mud, correct?
Yeah, but for me, when I first set that up, it was literally just because I was finding that information for myself anyway. So I thought, well, I'll just sort of filter it back out through some sort of a platform. But I feel like the amount of radars that I've gotten onto just solely by doing that for the community, if I didn't have that, people wouldn't know who I was. And the work is what it is, but I mean, over the last 7 years, I haven't made anywhere near as much work as I'd like to be making because I'm at home raising kids and all those other things. Social media allows me to, without actually sometimes producing work for 2 weeks, I'm still visual and on people's radar doing things, right? And so when you post, you look like you make so much work. I'm like, I literally post every pot that comes out of a kiln sometimes, though, right? And so people assume that that's a lot more than what it really is. I just feel like most people wouldn't. I live in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and there's a community here. There's a great craft community in Canada, but even in Canada, there's a lot of areas, and we don't work very well together in terms of promoting each other or getting work across the country, because we've got these large expanses of geography in between major centers. I think that without me pushing the marketing and just being on radars because of, because I feel like I've got my foot in the door because I can contact a gallery and talk to somebody, a curator, whoever, because I'm posting about them on the blog. So I get to know people without it being about me and my work, which is that I'm shy and I don't want to talk about my work, but so here's my other way into talking to people that I maybe shouldn't be allowed to talk to at this stage I am in my career.
How about you, Michael? What do you think as far as your success? Do you think it's directly correlated to, or do you think you'd be where you are without it?
I think it's definitely helped me in the last few years to continue the lifestyle and raising the family, and in an economic time it hasn't been that great for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people I know kind of they just couldn't. The economics since 2008 have been really tricky. As far as being successful without it, I don't know. I'm not sure how I would measure that. I think most recently with the crowdfund, I don't think that would have been possible if I hadn't had the online. I really don't think. I mean, I looked at Verana's Kickstarter and Indiegogo projects that just didn't make it because I hadn't seen their pottery on Facebook or anywhere, and I think that has definitely impacted the success of that campaign for sure. Yeah.
What about you, Adam?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been, and let me just say that I'm turning the volume computer, so if somebody wants to chime in, maybe like wave your hand up to the camera for a second while I'm speaking, because I can't talk. But anyways, yeah, absolutely. I think that the biggest kind of social media for me was posting a lot of videos from my time in Korea. And by the time I got back, I was also on Facebook at that point, but really YouTube set this great foundation for me to be able to come back and be recommended pots over in Korea. And that just opened opened up so many opportunities for me. You know, I'm a big believer in, you know, multiple points, you know, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you know, with, I think that stuff, you know, without a bit of argument, it just opens it up to so many more people than would have been possible, I don't know, 5, 10 years ago. So, absolutely.
I always think that you build different sort of communities of followers through the different platforms. They're not all, the followers for a blog aren't the same as your Twitter followers, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's a simple pots within your local community, you saturate that community. And so I think without sort of branching off into those different areas to build your community of people who are going to support you, you will get to a point where you just sort of, you might go really well and climb and climb and climb, and then you're going to plateau because your demographic is just the same and they've bought all the pots they need from you. Social media just gets you beyond that community. Everybody else, it's not just this word of mouth thing. It's suddenly, it's like these people repost and repost and repost, and the ripple effect can be so huge.
Well, and also I think we need to realize that if we're doing it socializing, I mean, that's all well and good, but I think that as artists capable of being or to sell, as entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call us, that there has to be the attitude that the reason I'm on social has little to do with my own entertainment and so much more to do with growing my audience or growing my reach, because otherwise, if you're doing the fairs, if you're doing the galleries, the only thing you're going to reach ever is going to be just the people who happen to walk by. As opposed to structure your media correctly and your post correctly, your reach can literally become global. Who knows? Universal, maybe. But just, we have an opportunity to be able to reach people that we would have never reached with making sales.
Yeah. Well, I think sorry, go ahead, Adam.
This relates to a question that was just posted. Our social media time dedicated to current or potential customers versus other all the same. And something that I'd like to point out, because definitely marketing is a big part of this, but I think the thread between the three of us is that we see the content that we put out, creative endeavor of it somehow. And I know coincidence, you know, some larger followings that I think that sometimes it's incidental that you hang other potters or new audiences, other new audiences when the content is creative, and I see all, you know, doing that and seeing some growth and following from that.
So
I totally forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Well, I think I think I agree with Adam. I think I don't necessarily have really good social media as prescribed by the top, you know, like the top 10 best things to do for social media. I mean, I tend to go shoot from the hip, and I'm impulsive. I do care deeply about what I'm posting, and I'm involved with photography. I like the formats, and I get into the whole process. And some of that sticks, some of it's, you know, it's posted 2 in the morning, maybe nobody sees it. But I think I tend to use because I really think it's a big action, and I like finding out about it. It happens to be that I'm a potter, and I do. That's what I do. So I document that. You know, I think I approach it.
But the one thing you said there, Michael, that I would beg to differ about. You posted 2 in the morning, and you said that maybe nobody is seeing it. I think I can't remember what the exact number, but the average number of followers people have maybe hundreds. So if people are following you, their feed is going to may not be quite as up to date, but they'll go back and they scroll through because people they find that stuff pretty readily.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So it's not like some of us make it a big, hundreds and hundreds of people, that, and it makes it so that it's really difficult to catch when people are doing, like, it becomes a very random thing. But most people are just following like a few hundred people.
But you also have to think that 2 o'clock in the morning in your time is noon where, right? Because you're not talking about just your region anymore. You're talking global, and you could have a grape that actually is across the world that really does.
Yeah, I'm big in Turkey. That's how I learned about Joseph. Was I would watch his post from Joseph would post a stream on Meerkat. He was working in the morning. I was working late at night. He would be working. He would be getting up, and then we trade. I would be doing something that night, and he'd be getting up in the morning and watching it. So I think you're right, Paul. I think we underestimate the scope of world time and international following, really.
Hey, Judy has a question there. One of you guys want to capture Judy's question there?
There was a question before Judy's. Did we get that one? What percentage? Art by Fuzzy.
Art by Fuzzy, yeah.
Yeah. What percentage of your social media account is dedicated to current potential customers versus other potters, or is it all the same? And Judy just asked, of your sales in, you guys are all using social media as a creative endeavor and believe it helps with sales. Of your sales in general, then, what percentage of your collectors do you believe are in fact potters/ceramic artists?
I don't think I spend a lot of time really analyzing audience too much. I don't using the platforms, but I can't take that really business marketing side of things. A, I don't have the time, and B, I don't actually have the interest to sort of analyze who followers are, who, where are those links of how people are finding me. But probably there is a chunk that are other potters and other ceramic artists. But I think using social media as that creative endeavor, where Instagram feed there's obviously the family aspects of it and day to day, but then there's a lot of studio stuff on there, and it's like a live sketchbook. And it's this timeline of how things are progressing in the studio, and that's for my record, but that's also to let people in to learn more about how people make work, how, what goes into a piece, so that, this is why this piece is of such value, is because of all of this process and et cetera, that goes into it. That helps with sales for sure. It's the same with when you have to talk to people firsthand, face to face at a market, and explain to them why your mug's not worth $25. It's $25 or $5 mug. Like, what's the variation, right? And so I get to show people that in visual form on Instagram. I don't have to have a conversation out loud. I can actually just show people, like, here's all the steps of the process. Here's how many times I touched that cup. Here's why I'm charging you $35, $50 for it, right? So I think it helps with educating in that sense.
One thought that I had with Judy's question is that there is this idea that potters tend to market a lot to other potters on social media. That may not necessarily be the best group to market to, because if they're like most professional potters, their income level may not be all that extremely high. But I think the one thing that we need to remember about most potters out there, the vast majority of potters on the planet are still hobby potters. And so this isn't their main source. And so they do have a lot of disposable income. And so I think the potters out there that are hobbyists absolutely, they're a great market to reach out to. In fact, I see all on Instagram people saying, "I just got my, so and so's cup or my so and so's plate," and they're showing it off, and I think that's not a bad market to go after, are people that are being inspired by someone like Michael Klein, Carol, in that these are people that have disposable income, and their sole resource is not their income from their ceramic. So it's really a bad place to be fishing for a buying market. Does anyone disagree with that?
No, in fact, I had a conversation with Hannah McAndrew a few years ago that was along the same lines when I was trying to start up my own pottery business, and she said, you've got part of your business has to be showing other potters how you work, and they'll be your main market. For me, my work never really took off, so but when I've been using live streaming, people have asked me, where can I go to buy your work? But I'm not selling stuff at the moment, so I have to reply I'm not, and recommend some potters to them, which is interesting. Marketing other potters' work while I'm working on my own stuff.
Pottery then.
Pardon? What do I do with all the pottery? At the moment,
yes.
At the moment, I'm working on a project where I'm giving pottery away. And what it is I give them part of a story, and in return they give me a story back. And it's all been kind of logged on my website. It's a new project that I started a few weeks ago. It's because part of my work is looking at how writing can be used to describe clay and pottery and telling my own story. So I'm really interested in storytelling, but not putting the storytelling on the objects, kind of associating kind of it with almost metadata. Because I'm weird. You can. I'm eccentric.
Right. Yeah. Well.
Aren't we all? I mean, I've seen Michael's feeds.
Ramping up.
And cramp. Who's a turkey, Adam? I guess that would be me.
Yeah. You're big in turkey. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. There must be a latency here, like a 20-minute latency. I didn't quite remember that statement I made, but.
I'm knocking. I interrupted with text.
It's an interesting thing I've actually picked up with live streaming is the fact that you could have said something even like a minute before and you can't remember.